Matt Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. You ever feel like you got COVID back again?
Oh no! What?
I mean, I don't feel sick.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
You're just like,
yeah, like that.
like you're worn out, tired.
Just like,
really? Because if you're tired,
it's just I have no energy. None.
Yeah. I've got.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is pure cane granulated sugar.
Oh wow.
So it works for me.
Okay.
You just sit back, you lean your head back, you just pour it in, and
Pure cane.
you wanna try
Yes.
it? You want to try that?
Yes.
Well then, this isn't a.
Try it
bit.
in the break.
The break.
I'll try it in the break.
Oh, we'll do it. We'll do it on
Yeah.
there. What's going on,
Just
man?
drink straight sugar.
You
Yeah.
think you caught something
Do that during the break.
while traveling?
I don't know. Well, I was around, 7 million people at Disney and Universal. And you are jammed in with those. You're outdoors when you're jammed in. Well, no, because you're jammed in the line, too. There's a lot,
A lot of people.
I looked it up. Disney doesn't really release figures, so they're kind of estimates. They see 250,000 people on average a day at Disney.
All the parks or just
Yeah,
know what I mean?
all the Disney.
Wow.
All at
Properties.
Disney World.
Huh.
So the 4 parks there.
Okay.
250,000 people? That's incredible. How many of them have COVID? I don't know. 1,000? Maybe more?
It seems like your antibodies would be at their highest right now.
Yeah, they should be because I just had it. So, no, I don't believe I have COVID. I think I didn't get sick.
Your body's still recovering from all the traveling.
Yes.
Like, what time did you get on Sunday?
We got here early because we got up at
Okay, so you're not playing catch up.
3 a.m, got to the airport at 4, and we were home by, I think, 8. So
Maybe
yeah.
you have the Arlen Specter variant. It sounded like.
that
Yeah.
that
Maybe we
yeah.
discovered a new variant.
I didn't leave Disney World. Disney World left me.
That diagnosis from Dr. Rob down the hall.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So he's looking out for you, man.
That's great. Thank you. All right. So, you know what? I got that. I don't know. Did you guys talk about it last week?
Yeah, so last week while you were gone, we had 2 huge boxes delivered from Mary Beth in Draper,
Utah.
Mm-hmm. And one was filled with all sorts of goodies that I think Corby survived off of during Snowmageddon last week.
Okay.
And then
right now.
Yeah, look at that. He's eating right there.
Oh, some of the cereal was from Mary Beth?
All this stuff.
Nice.
Anything with sugar that isn't in this container is from Mary Beth at present. So one box had these nice, unbelievably nice blankets. Jeffy and myself took ours home. You got yours this week.
I did.
And you're enjoying it?
Oh, my gosh.
Is it not the...
It's
soft.
Awesome.
It is
awesome.
It's the softest thing ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
And she said, enjoy the Cougar Blue Minky. And it had the Y logo
yeah.
on it. Depending on the season, it can be used to suffocate or celebrate. 2022 is our year, Cougar football. Mary Beth. Yeah.
Seriously.
And she's right, too. 2022 is...
Oh, is it?
It's our year.
And
Yeah,
Mary
it's
Beth,
our year.
I will have you know that when it was so cold last week here in DFW, I was under that blanket constantly.
The most awesome blanket I've ever had. Really nice.
It's like I got
Thank
hot.
you so much. That was, that was above and beyond. I mean, that was really, really nice. So we appreciate that. Thank you. 888-900-3393. We got breaking vaccine news this morning. Pfizer's own trial data is starting to be released in response to a Freedom of Information Act. This was the one that was going to be 75 years from now. We're going to release it. Wait. What?
Yeah, we're going to...
What good is it going to do us in 75 years when everybody's dead from your freaking vaccine?
Yeah, what was it, like a page a week or a
something
day?
Ridiculous.
What are you doing?
It's like 8 million pages long, and they were going to do a page a day for a million days. I don't know what it was. Ridiculous.
Remember, this is something that's been mandated by our government, and we're not supposed to know about the trials and all this good stuff?
Yeah.
Shut up.
And the judge said, no. You'll release that within, I think it was 6 months or something. So anyway, it's starting to trickle out. Cumulatively, between December 1st, 2020, and February 28th, 2021, a period of just 2.5 months, Pfizer received, in 2.5 months, 42,086 injury reports from their vaccine. Okay, this is Pfizer's information, YouTube. This is not my opinion. This is not conspiracy theory. This is Pfizer's own records. 42,086 injury reports, including 1,223 fatalities.
God.
In 2.5 months.
2.5 months.
That's, I don't know, that seems frightening.
Yeah. What was the swine flu when they discontinued that? Just a handful of deaths in the 70s, remember? And
yeah, you know how many people died in the Tylenol poisoning? 52, and they stopped selling it. What about fen-phen? How many people died from fen-phen? Was it 6? I don't know. It was some ridiculously small number, and they stopped selling it forever. Fen-phen taken completely off the market. Millions and millions and millions of people took it, and I think a few people died. If I'm not mistaken, it was under 12. And they stopped selling it forever. But this?
Yeah.
1,223 deaths in 2.5 months. No problem.
Yeah.
That's no problem. Why aren't you taking our vaccine? Get our vaccine and shut up. Take the vaccine. Shut up.
Yeah, we got a maximum of swine flu vaccine deaths at 32 back in 1976. They discontinued that. Here, Pfizer themselves knew in February that well over 1,000 had already died from it, and then the injuries.
No wonder they didn't want it to come out until 2075 or whatever it was. Nervous system disorders, 25,957. Musculoskeletal and connective tissue disorders, 17,283. Gastronomical disorders, 14,000 some. Skin and subcutaneous disorders.
That's a word we use
tissue,
all the time.
All the time. Then they had respiratory disorders, thoracic disorders. And it goes on and on and on. I mean, there's just all kinds of disorders that it caused, and that's not a problem. Don't worry about it.
I tweeted this out earlier this morning. We'll have at Pat Unleashed on Twitter retweet this so you can see these numbers for yourself straight from Pfizer.
They're Pfizer's numbers.
Yep.
Okay, Pfizer's numbers. YouTube. Yesterday, MSNBC had a doctor on to reassure parents to get their young kids 1, 2, or maybe, why not 3 shots? No, why not 4, 5, 6? Why not 12 shots? A shot a month. Every month for a year. Just get your kid a shot every year.
And you know what? Sadly, there are some parents who would be totally fine with that.
Oh, they'd love it. They'd love it, and they'd be celebrating. And they'd have a cake for every time they got their shot.
It's the first of the month. Oh, is it a new month already?
Yay! We get another shot! So here she is.
There are going to be some parents who say, I don't know if I'm so comfortable with that. The idea that you're still trying to wait and see if 3 doses work for my 2 to 5-year-old. There's already a lot of parents out there from 5 to 11 who aren't getting their kids a shot. So what would you suggest to parents who are looking at this and saying, I think I might hold off?
Yeah, what do you got, Doc?
What we know is that the 2 doses are safe for the entire age range. The real question is 2 doses enough protection versus 3 doses in the 2 to 5-year age range? There's really no downside to getting started on that vaccination regimen, whether your child is 6 months old or 4 to 5 years old. It's really a question of waiting for a little bit more safety data in terms of deciding and effectiveness data in terms of deciding whether they should get a 3rd dose. And the FDA will eventually review that data as well.
Or 5th. Or let's do 1 a week. every week for a year. And then let's just keep going. Let's just do it every week for the rest of their lives.
I mean, there's really no downside.
There's really no downside.
Doctor just said that.
Yeah. There's no downside at all.
What was the Pfizer stuff we just read from Pfizer? No downside.
I'll tell you what. Let's wait for a couple more pages of the Pfizer release before we say there's really no downside.
Yeah, because you can't really classify a fatality as a downside, I suppose, in the doctor's world. Oh, my gosh.
There is almost no downside to your kid getting COVID.
Right.
They almost always survive it. I mean, it is as sure a thing as there is in life, really. More kids die in the bathtub than die from COVID. So there's really no downside. I don't know. It's madness. It's just, again, it's a cult.
It is.
I mean, this doctor, there's really no downside? I don't know. Let's wait for the data. Should we? We just see what happens?
That doctor's going to get us flagged on YouTube for misinformation. That's what's going to be our downfall today.
Right. Yeah, that's what they'll do. They'll flag the people saying there's no downside to the vaccine.
We'll find a way to keep them off of YouTube. Ugh, what a mess.
Meanwhile, researchers warn some COVID-19 vaccines could risk of HIV infection.
Yeah.
They could increase the risk of HIV infection. What?
Yeah.
Some of the COVID-19 vaccines currently in development could increase the risk of acquiring HIV, warned a group of researchers in the Lancet Medical Journal. Did you hear that, YouTube? It's Lancet Medical Journal, potentially leading to an increase in infections as vaccines are rolled out to vulnerable populations around the world. The researchers warn of a cautionary tale from efforts to create an HIV vaccine over a decade ago, where a promising vaccine candidate actually increased the risk of some men catching the virus.
Yep.
Wow, that is weird. The vaccine made use of a modified virus called adenovirus 5 as a vector to transport some of HIV's genetic material into the body. Exactly how the vaccine increased the risks of HIV transmission is unknown. But a conference convened in the National Institutes of Health recommended against further use of 85 as a vector in HIV vaccines. And by the way, Dr. Anthony Fauci was lead author of the paper outlining this position.
I recognize that name.
Really? Is what? What, Anthony Fauci? That sounds familiar to you?
You don't want me to let you know why that name sounds familiar to me.
Ad5 is used as a vector in some COVID-19 vaccines. Oh, good.
Good. So it's a vector.
So it's a vector that could increase the risk of HIV infection.
And this is from some of the vaccines.
And that's in some of the vaccines that are going into our bodies. But there's really no there's no reason not to just keep injecting this thing into your body. Don't worry about it. There's absolutely no downside whatsoever. No downside.
But you just read the thing that I beg to differ just based on what you read to me.
No, Keith, there's no downside.
That feels like a downside.
No. A lot of people enjoy HIV infection.
Really? Oh, okay.
That's just, I mean, is that what we're supposed to believe?
I
if
guess.
There's no downside?
Yeah, right. This is madness. This is a world gone mad and irretrievably so.
Lots of vaccines make use of modified viruses to transport material into the human body. Many make use of a modified adenovirus to do this, a virus which is usually harmless except the ability to cause the common cold. Some of the leading candidates for a COVID-19 vaccine, including those from Johnson & Johnson and AstraZeneca, use adenoviruses as vectors.
I wonder if that shows up anywhere in the Pfizer data that's going to be released over the next few months. I have no idea if this is going to be Pfizer related.
We don't know. But these are kind of assigned right now to Johnson & Johnson and AstraZeneca.
Okay.
Including those. It doesn't eliminate anybody.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if Moderna and Pfizer do it. I don't know.
Now, if you had sat down, if somebody had told you before you rolled up your sleeve for the vax, right? If they had said, hey, by the way, this is could be a potential way to get HIV.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me, what was that?
I'm sorry, what?
What was
Yeah.
Would you still have done it if you had read that story first? Not a chance.
No.
What do they know? And we're finding out slowly from,
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. We don't know anything about these vaccines. We don't know anything about them. I don't know what's in it. I have no idea what's in it, and they're brand new. First of all, it's completely new technology. They're really not even vaccines. Even the scientists will tell you that. They are not technically vaccines. So we're taking them anyway, and we're just doing it. And everybody must do it.
Yeah, and that's
because it's mandated.
That's just it. It's not like this thing is out there and take it if you want to, don't take it if you don't want to. You've got businesses, governments, businesses working for governments, everybody mandating it. If you want to live your life, you've got to get this shot. And then, oh my gosh, here comes some data. You're putting the cart before the horse.
It's unreal. It really is. Let me tell you about Preborn. I am so happy to have Preborn as a part of the show. Since Roe v. Wade, over 63 million babies have been aborted in the United States. 1 in 4 pregnancies don't choose life. And the Ministry of Preborn and Blaze Media are partnering to help rescue as many babies as we possibly can this year. Preborn is the direct competition to the abortion industry. And they're the largest provider of free ultrasounds in the United States. By allowing a woman to see her baby on an ultrasound and hear the heartbeat, she's 80% more likely to choose life for her baby. Now, that ultrasound is free to her because they're not going to pay for it. They're there for an abortion. So $28 buys one ultrasound for a woman.
That is awesome.
And has an 80% chance of saving one baby.
$28 to almost guarantee saving a life.
Yeah. Now, maybe you don't have $28 right now. Maybe things are tough. I mean, we've got inflation. We've got taxes coming up. We've got a lot of things going on. So if you can afford $5, that would be appreciated. Anything helps. Help us rescue babies' lives. Dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250 and say baby, or go to preborn.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome to it. We have this comedian, Heather McDonald. That sounds familiar. I'm not sure if I know who she is, but I think we're about to see her, right?
Yeah.
She just fainted on stage during a routine, and she was, I guess she's a big fan of the vaccines, right?
I guess.
And I think she was singing the praises of them, but here's what happened.
Okay.
And then I say this, and then this happens. Okay, so we're going to play it.
I'm happy to be
trigger
here.
warning.
Yeah. I don't mean to brag. I don't care, but I want you to know, double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm going to be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes! Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice. So nice.
Boom! Somebody once
Oh,
told
gosh.
me
Kill
the
that.
world-
Oh,
Kill that audio.
golly.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's disturbing.
Now, she played that music on her podcast. We weren't playing that over the top of that. So, yeah.
So
that's-
obviously we saw her introduce that video, so she's okay now.
Correct.
But like she cracked her head open.
Cracked her skull, had black
Oh.
eyes. Yeah, big time.
Dang.
Injury there. I guess.
Now, we don't know when she got the vaccines. I don't know what caused her to pass out. I don't know why Keith included this video
What? How? Oh,
in the
that
vaccine
got,
discussion.
Oh, shoot. How embarrassing. I put that in the wrong stack, huh?
Yeah, because I'm
my
sure
bad.
that has nothing to do with it, but
Yeah.
it's interesting. She's bragging.
Quote,
bragging
clearly Jesus loves me the
more
most.
or the most, yeah.
End quote.
And then she goes out. Pew! Yikes.
All right. I'm just glad she's still among us.
Yeah, really glad she's okay.
That was quite interesting timing for sure.
Very weird. Now, she hasn't ever put together that, one may lead to the other?
I think Jeffy says that she says it has nothing to do with the vaccine. I don't know how she knows that. I don't know how we would know that. But
because she just knows.
She just knows.
She just knows.
Oh, because, she's got an N with Jesus.
Right.
And so that's how she knows.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
But you always make the joke like, I don't want to be standing here when fill in the blank, I mean, that literally is what happened to her.
Yeah. Man, she went down hard.
Yeah,
too.
I know.
That was ugly.
It was very ugly.
Eesh.
I'm just glad she's okay.
By the way, while many Americans want to throw the yoke of mask mandates out the window, and some states are, in fact, moving toward lifting those requirements, the CDC director, Rochelle Walensky, said that her government agency has not changed the mask guidance. How long are they going to stick with this?
Still talking?
How long are they going to stick with it? I know people are interested in taking masks off. I, too, am interested. That would be one marker that we have much of the pandemic behind us. Now, didn't Fauci just say that we are getting it behind us?
Oh, I don't know. Is he
He
still
said
talking
something
too?
to that effect. Yeah, you still
So
they're all still
both talking. Okay, because you've got Gavin Newsom saying February 15th, California ditches their mask mandate. Today, Illinois' governor, Pritzker, or whatever it is going to make some declaration about indoor masks. They suspect it's going to go.
They're going to drop it?
Yeah. But you got the CDC hanging on saying, despite the fact blue states are saying goodbye.
We're still saying recommending mask indoors in places with substantial or high transmission, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Also masking for schools.
Oh, shut up.
So stupid. The school thing has been completely disproven. I mean, there's no evidence that the masks help in school or that the kids need them or any of that. You're talking about the least vulnerable group on the planet. Kids, from 0 to 18. That's who you're talking about in school. So 99.98% of them survive COVID-19. I mean, it's even really higher than that because many of those who have died of the, what was it? It was out of 73 million kids, something like, was it 400? 700? I don't remember how many.
Of how many deaths there are?
Yeah.
It's 800 and something total.
Okay.
In the country.
And a lot of those had comorbidities.
Exactly, yeah.
In fact, somebody gave me a figure. We'll have to track this down.
Okay.
That it was, unbelievably low, like 28 without comorbidities.
So American children who have died from COVID alone,
that's it, was 28. That's incredible if that's true.
Golly.
Speaking of schools, we got this from the Babylon Bee. I don't know how they're still in business because reality disallows satire anymore with the Babylon Bee. But
true.
they've got prison from a public school.
Oh, so how to tell
the Babylon Bee's guide to how to tell a prison.
This will be helpful.
From a public school.
Okay, all right. Let's see.
Do we have the graphic? Yeah, there you go. So prison and public school.
Okay, so a prison, the goal is to leave reformed. Public school, the goal is to leave conformed. Okay.
All right.
Prison, punch the biggest guy to assert dominance. Public school, be most oppressed to assert dominance. Prison, in a pandemic, you get released from prison. Mm-hmm. Public school, in a pandemic, you get solitary confinement.
Okay.
That's the truth right there.
Yeah.
In prison.
That is weird.
Yeah.
In prison, you get released during a pandemic.
I mean, that's a big one there. What's this drag queen cellmate in prison? Drag queen story hour in school. Let's see here. Scripture tattoos are acceptable in prison. In a public school, scripture T-shirts are banned.
Yeah,
Let's
great.
just see here. Snitch on cellmates for hiding crack in a prison. Okay. Snitch on parents for not recycling in a public school.
Okay.
That's the truth, yeah. And, and getting the shot is forbidden in prison, but it's required in school. There you go.
What's the one about R. Kelly? Run into R. Kelly in prison.
I skipped
at
some
public
of these.
School.
Where is that one? R. Kelly. Run into R. Kelly's ex at public school. Oh, no. I should have read that one.
That's good.
That is good stuff right there, Babylon B. We will tweet that out. That is great.
Oh, man.
Run into R. Kelly's ex. That's a thinking man's joke.
Yeah, it is. That's it's really good. They've got some creative people at the Babylon Bee.
Yes, they do.
Speaking of music and musicians, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees have come out now for 2022. And guess what? There's no Foreigner again. You know, this whole thing we heard a couple years ago about, well, yeah, the guy who is preventing Foreigner from being nominated is leaving. Yeah, I don't think that was the deal because he's been gone now for, I think, 2 years. 2 of these nomination rounds, and still, they've not so much as been nominated.
That is...
it's crazy. You know, you're eligible after 25 years from the first release, from your first release of your, I don't know, album, single. I'm not sure how much of your music has to be released to qualify. But, it was 1976. So you're talking about 45 years that they've been out. And I guess, 45 years. So 25 years they've been eligible and never nominated.
Or 20.
Or 20. Yeah, 20 years they've been eligible.
This is the most
and not a single nomination.
Yeah, this is gross.
But this year, the nominees are Beck, not Glenn.
All right.
But Beck.
Oh, yeah. Colors album, y'all. Colors. It's so good.
The guy who did Loser.
Yeah.
Way back. I mean, that's the only song by Beck that I know because it was the only song that was played on the radio.
He's a genius.
Is he?
He is. I only say that about 2 people in the world.
Seriously?
Mike Judge, who gave us Idiocracy, Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill.
Okay. And Beck? Seriously?
And Beck. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he can do so much.
So you think he belongs?
Absolutely. Far and away, yes.
Pat Benatar absolutely belongs.
Yep.
Absolutely. Kate Bush? Devo? No. Duran Duran? Probably.
Okay.
Eminem? Absolutely not. Eurythmics? No. Don't make me laugh. The Eurythmics? Come on. Judas Priest? Maybe.
Oh, Jeffy's angry out there. Something going on.
Fela Kuti, who does Afrikaans music, I think.
What?
Yeah, Fela Kuti.
This is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame we're discussing?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. MC5, who's been nominated like 600 times. They've never gotten it. New York Dolls, another darling of the critics.
Niche. Yeah.
Dolly Parton, as hardcore country as you could possibly get. She is not a rock artist. She has no business in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She's already in the Country Music Hall of Fame. That's where she belongs. Leave it alone.
You would think maybe if the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame eventually runs out of actual rock musicians to enter, then they could branch out.
Yeah.
You don't do it before people like Foreigner haven't been, or the Monkees, as we've declared before. Connells. Where are the Connells again?
Where are they? Where are they?
The Connells.
There's no justice, Keith. Rage Against the Machine, not a big fan. Plus, they're lunatics.
Yeah.
Lionel Richie, I'm kind of torn there because he's awesome.
Because I like him. He should be there.
I like him. But he's not a rock artist, you know?
Yeah.
Carly Simon, shut up. A Tribe Called Quest and Dionne Warwick.
Oh, no.
Ick. And not rock. There are places for these people. There's either a hip hop or a rap Hall of Fame. Put the rappers and the hip hop artists in that.
Right.
Why are you insisting on putting them in the Rock Hall of Fame? Why?
You know what? 2 things.
You know what? Foreigner should go into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame.
I was going to say 2 things. Foreigner needs to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, number 1. But number 2, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame needs to change their name to the Musical Hall of Fame.
Yeah, because it's not appropriate what they're doing.
Gosh.
It's just really not. All right, we're going to chew the fat with Jeffy next. Cut twice. I cut myself off twice. You know what's even more interesting is are these Raycon wireless earbuds I love them.
They're fantastic.
I'm not sure how life existed before Raycon wireless earbuds. But
I don't know about your Raycons, but my Raycons are awesome.
Oh, mine are really awesome.
Oh.
Extra awesome.
Okay, then. Fine. Be
Must
that
be
way.
nice.
No matter how much you shake things up, literally no matter how much you shake or move or turn or whatever, they don't come out of your ears, which is really important to me. I've had earbuds in the past. I just can't keep them in. And I hate that. It's so agonizing and irritating when they can keep falling out of your ears. But these are great. They stick in your ears. They stay there. They sound great. The quality is amazing. Their everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever. They're about half the price you'll pay for the other things that look stupid anyway because they're hanging down to your chin. Raycons offer 8 hours of playtime, 32-hour battery life, and they're priced just right. You get quality audio at half the price of other premium audio brands. It's no wonder why Raycon's everyday earbuds have over 48,000 five-star reviews. So, right now, listeners to this show can get 15% off their Raycon order by going to buyraycon, B-U-Y, raycon.com/gray. That's buyraycon.com/gray and save 15% on Raycon earbuds. Buyraycon.com/gray.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right.
All right.
You know what this quality musical interlude
That's right.
means. It is time once again to chew the fat with Jeffy.
And now I have to.
Yeah, you
Well,
gotta wait.
ready to go.
You gotta wait.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
Let's
He's
go.
angry. He is angry.
But the music will fire you up. He's got a bone to pick with us because we started talking about the Rock Hall of Fame a little early.
Don't drag me into this. You started talking about it. Of course, I gleefully joined in.
I guess we were supposed to wait for him and his chewing segment.
I was going to talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Monday.
We talked about it on Monday. Talk about a million things on Monday. You think I remember one of them? No.
Well,
That hurts.
That does hurt, doesn't it?
That hurts.
That hurts.
That
yeah.
hurts.
Been there, Jeffy.
No.
I understand.
My fault. You lost your crap. All right. Not my fault.
Wait,
I
you're
am-
the one that lost your crap.
Right.
No.
Thank you.
No.
He just talked about the.
And now, here's chewing the fat.
We just stopped talking.
Well, Jeff,
Look, all I know is John Sykes, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Foundation chairman, said this year's ballot recognizes a diverse group of incredible artists.
yeah, and because the word diverse is in it, you're supposed to applaud it and celebrate it. No, that's wonderful. You're right.
Yay.
It does. It does. He's right. He's right. It's very diverse. You got people who shouldn't be in it on it. That's great.
Their music not only moved generations, but also influenced the sound of countless artists
Get out of here.
that followed. So,
I mean,
I don't-
you know what we should do is start pushing for Foreigner to be included in the Country Hall of Fame.
first of all,
I like
Foreigner's not going to be included in any,
Hall of Fame.
So let's just move
Okay, let's
on
put
from that.
Led Zeppelin in the Country Hall of Fame.
Why don't they just have a music Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I mean, that would be appropriate at this point. If it's a music Hall of Fame, then you can put whoever you want in it that did
Whatever you
music.
I mean, I realized that Fela Kuti, who we talked
Yeah.
about the other time he was nominated,
He's been nominated more than Foreigner.
as the pioneer of Afrobeat. I realized that he's that pioneer, but does he need to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Not for
No.
my money, no.
And A Tribe Called Quest
No.
with their rapper and main producer Q-Tip.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
they need to be
No.
in the Rock and
Oh.
Roll
No, they do not.
Hall of Fame?
No.
But he
I mean,
needs a
I'm
new
willing
name.
to listen to an acceptance speech from Q-Tip,
Q-Tip.
but I don't know that he needs to
Wow.
be in the hall.
And you know what? These other halls of fame would not consider. It would be an insult
Not
to
a,
them.
oh, no way.
Oh, that's a rock artist. We're considering them.
Yeah.
No.
That's weird.
But the Rock Hall of Fame has to consider everybody in this diverse group, and everybody come on in.
Jeffy,
Plus,
weird.
Kate Bush.
Kate Bush, shut up.
Have you? I know she's the
She's
big
the
United
warbler. She's
Kingdom.
almost like Yoko Ono, right? musically,
yeah, kind of.
She's like Yoko Ono.
Her first song was the Wuthering Heights or whatever.
Yes.
That was number one. And that video is agonizing. Shit is terrible.
I don't know if I've seen the video.
Oh my god,
Jeffy, what were your thoughts on?
You have to see the video. I mean, the song is really, really good anyway.
No, sure,
but you add video component to it,
stuff,
makes it that much better.
You had a theory on why Dolly Parton was nominated. What was that? Again?
Songwriting.
She writes for other artists.
Yeah, all those artists have covered
she
her
wrote
music.
"I Will Always Love You."
Yes,
the Whitney Houston song. But what else has she written for rock artists? Name one.
I mean,
why don't you tell us what you told us during the break, Jeffy? I would like to hear you tell us.
She's written there was one big.
Oh, I know
rock
what
song.
it was. She wrote "Come On, Feel the Noise" for Quiet Riot, right? And
it's possible.
And I think she wrote "Trampled Underfoot" for Led Zeppelin.
That's possible.
Yes.
I heard a version from her of "House of the Rising Sun." She sang that.
What?
I think she wrote that.
No.
I think she wrote that.
I looked it up.
She just did the version.
Yeah, I guess. I haven't heard it.
No, that was written by what's his face.
Well,
I love him.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
He should be nominated.
The words
What's his
apparently
face?
have been
Yeah.
around since 1905, and the oldest published version of the lyrics was 1925. It's like the Animals just finally decided, let's
House
make a
of the
song.
Rising
Yeah.
Sun. Oh wow!
Isn't that something?
I heard.
They call.
I like to get my day started with that.
No.
Every day, man.
Who doesn't?
And then who's the New York Dolls? I mean, that's just a hip thing.
Yes,
David
just a Rolling
Johansen.
Stone
They all love David Johansen, and he was the other Dingleberry. He used another name for a while.
Iggy Pop?
No.
Who else was in New York Dolls?
David Johansen was the big one, though. I think he was the main guy.
All right.
Anyway, it was just those are just one of those cult groups and bands that everybody loves, and they want to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. No question. I forget what was his name. It doesn't matter.
The New York Dolls.
He went by some other
Johnny
name.
Thunders. Sylvain?
No, Johansson went by another name at one time that everybody thought was so cool.
Huh. I don't know.
Gosh darn it.
I don't know.
Like Boots Melon or Boom.
25 different people have been associated with
the New York Dolls.
Yeah, they moved him in and out.
Jeez.
Anyway, I mean, it's just the Music Hall of Fame, right? I mean, and it is embarrassing. We've said it 1,000 times. It's embarrassing that Foreigner is not in the rock.
Big time. Just nominate them once. Just at least nominate them.
Right. Well, I mean, we have you can vote, the fans can vote right up until through April 29th. You can go to rockhall.com.
They don't even look at those.
They claim they do. The top 5 artists selected by the public will comprise a fans ballot that will be tallied with the other ballots.
Right, but they're under no obligation to choose the bands that the fans did.
Right.
And in fact,
the nominee ballots, they claim they have a voting body of more than 1,000 artists, historians, and members of the music industry.
Wait a minute.
I'd like to be part of that.
So are they turned off by the name Foreigner in 2022? I wouldn't put it past them to be that petty.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Don't know.
You talk about the 1,000 votes or the 1,000 members who vote.
More than.
I heard a story about how Ringo Starr was inducted into the Rock Hall as a solo artist.
Right.
Obviously, he was already in with the Beatles. But a few years ago, Paul McCartney called him and said, Ringo, do you know you're not in the Rock Hall of Fame as a solo artist? He's like, yeah. Would you like to be? Yeah. So McCartney called Bruce Springsteen or something who was on the board. And all of a sudden, lo and behold,
I mean, to be
bing,
fair,
Ringo Starr's in as a solo artist.
If Paul calls you and says, "Hey, this is Paul McCartney,"
I think it just shows
Paul McCartney. Ringo needs to be in.
It shows how loosey-goosey it is.
Click.
Yeah.
It just shows it's a
club.
little club.
Yeah, it is a club.
Mm-hmm.
And now now they have to admit everyone. Sad.
Yes. Yeah. Whether you have anything to do with rock music or not.
Yeah.
It's silly. All right.
It's diverse.
Right. Silly and diverse.
Diverse
and silly. Let me tell you about real estate agents I trust, though.
Please.
These people come from diverse backgrounds, too.
Good.
Yeah, they've sold all kinds of different houses. They don't just sell one kind of house. So
doesn't matter to them?
It doesn't matter.
Wow.
No. So these people have great track records, and we make sure of that. They're carefully vetted by Glenn's team. This is his company because he had such a bad experience selling his home in Connecticut, and so we didn't want you to have to go through that as well. So we compiled this group of realtors from across the country, and now I think there's, I don't know, 1,200 or 1,500 or something. But if we couldn't find a great realtor in some market, we just don't have a representative of Real Estate Agents I Trust in that market because they have to be really great. So give it a try. These are people who can help you through the whole process that's really stressful. We all know how moving can stress you out.
And it's not a good time.
Not a good time. It's not fun. In fact, it might be the least fun thing you ever do in your life.
Yes.
Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. Go to realestateagentsitrust.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right. A reminder to subscribe to Chewing the Fat, my daily show. It's available wherever you get your podcasts. Just subscribe, enjoy, and be happy with your life. Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher. Will it pass or will it be stuck? The Y721 $485 million boat that will be the world's largest sailing yacht, officially a sail-assisted motor yacht, 417 feet long, according to Boat International magazine.
Is this Jeff Bezos' boat?
And its 350 feet high trio of masts being built for Mr. Bezos. Too tall to make it under the Rotterdam's iconic bridge. So the yacht builder, Ocean Co., reportedly asked the city to temporarily remove the bridge. That only dates back to 1878. Mr. Bezos is going to pay for it. He's paying for it. We're gonna take it down, let the boat go through, and then we're gonna put it back together again. Okay?
That's incredible.
Now, the spokesman for Rotterdam Mayor, a spokesman said, "Yeah, we're gonna rebuild it. The boat can pass and everything. It's the only route to the sea. It's the only way to go. That's what we're gonna do." So a few Rotterdam citizens. A little unhappy, saying they created a Facebook event inviting people to hurl rotten eggs at the ship as it sails by this summer. They have like 2,600 people on the Facebook page. 600 and some, are confirmed to be egg throwers. But, calm down. All right. The city's mayor came out and clarified the situation, saying that we have not received a request to temporarily dismantle the historic bridge to accommodate Jeff Bezos' super yacht, despite reports to the contrary. So it's going to happen. You know it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you know it's going to happen. The request will come through, and it'll create jobs. I mean, even the politicians are saying, yeah, it'll create jobs. We'll take it down. We'll be fine. No problem. One of the things that it won't have, though, this super yacht, is a helipad. And if you're Jeff Bezos and your partner, Lauren Sanchez, is a helicopter pilot, what do you do, Pat? What do you do?
I think you get a separate ship.
That's exactly right.
You can land the helicopter.
You commission a little buddy, a support yacht, so the helicopter can land on.
And there are people who, that's their job, just to take Bezos around. And
That's amazing.
That sure is. That's incredible.
It's amazing. First of all, a $450 million expense.
A little bit more
on this one,
almost $500 billion.
Okay,
I mean,
that's a lot.
He's being rewarded for being able to offer same-day delivery on stuff.
And look, their earnings, expectations as profits doubled in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he's done well since the pandemic.
And a good thing. I mean, look, you can't pay for the little buddy yacht without raising the annual membership. That's going to go up $20
of Amazon.
Yeah.
So
the Amazon Prime is going from $119 to $139 a month.
Oh wow!
And a year, right?
A year, yes, yeah. $119 to $139 a year, and the monthly fee is going to go up $2 from $12.99 to $14.99. I don't know anyone that has the monthly.
Yeah, right.
I don't.
Once you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah. Hello. Well, that makes no sense. But anyway, and also good news for Amazon employees. the tech employees and corporate and tech employees, their base pay is going from $160,000 a year to $350,000 a year. So
wow.
You may want to go to work for Amazon.
Wow.
Might be kind of a good thing to do.
Their base pay
is
went up
almost doubling.
$200,000.
Yeah, almost.
Oof. Nice.
Yeah, real nice.
Nice.
So they get that, and you take down a bridge and put it back together again. It's no big deal. We got to get my yacht through here, okay? No problem. They took the bridge down a few years ago to repair it.
Oh.
And it was down for like 3 or 4 months. So they know how to do it. Just take it down and let that yacht go through. I hope Amazon is filming. I want to see them film the yacht going through the bridge. I want to see people attempting to throw rotten eggs and have Bezos have that thing escorted by like fire boats and just water cannon those people along the side of the shore. Man, it'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see that a lot. Mm-hmm. Congratulations to Pfizer, by the way. You were talking about them earlier. They registered $36.8 billion of sales from the COVID-19 vaccine that it makes with BioNTech. I mean, that's just the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah.
Right? It's officially now the top-selling pharmaceutical product ever in a single year with a huge margin. I mean, the Humira, right? Humira was the next highest with $20 billion. Pfizer spits on $20 billion. And they expect that Paxlovid, will create $22 billion next year, and the vaccine will get $32 billion next year. Wall Street not happy. They expected a lot more.
They expected more?
The stock dropped. $54 billion just for those two drugs is not enough for Wall Street.
Wow. Amazing.
It sure is.
888-933-93. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. 888-900-3393. How often have we talked about, COVID and doctors and pharmacies not willing to either prescribe or fill the prescription on ivermectin or whatever you want to get.
Right.
For that matter, whatever your doctor has prescribed
Yeah.
for you to get when you have COVID. This happens all the time, that pharmacies, even if they've got the prescription from the doctor and it's legitimate, they won't give it to you. But there's something you can do about that now. Where can you find a doctor online you can trust who's a COVID expert and not just a prescription factory? And where can you find a pharmacy that will dispense off-label medication that won't charge you an arm and a leg? And that answer is mygotodoc.com. Now, Omicron is milder than Delta, and hopefully it'll mean the pandemic's over soon. But let me tell you, Keith had a hard time getting ivermectin when he was sick a couple of weeks ago.
Correct. And I've heard great things about mygotodoc.com from a listener of this program who said it was so simple. In fact, I went to that website this morning and was just messing around there. And I love the questions, here's a few questions just to get signed up. And I was like, how often do you exercise? And one of the options to respond is, what's exercise? Thank you.
Why are you looking at me?
And high-risk patients need special treatments sometimes, and they've tried everything else and nothing works, and they still can't get ivermectin. It's ridiculous. Low-risk patients often benefit from off-label meds because they can prevent long COVID, which can be debilitating. So Dr. Syed Haider has built something at mygotodoc.com that you need to know for 3 reasons. First of all, he's a COVID expert. This is all he does. And he's treated over 40,000 patients with 0 deaths. 40,000 patients, no deaths. Number 2, you can register for free and ask questions forever. And 3, they'll connect you to pharmacies that will ship you a full 28 doses of ivermectin for less than anywhere else online. And it'll be great to just have them on hand, even if you don't have COVID. Just have them on hand for when you do, because you'll probably get it eventually. It's your go-to source for COVID-19. mygotodoc.com. That's mygotodoc.com. Check them out today.
Pat Gray.
Some tweets, my anti-Fauci tweets. Foreigner probably would have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame if they called themselves undocumented. Pete Donovan, Pat, here's what you do. Ballot dump at 3 a.m. for Foreigner.
That's awesome.
Nice. From just another proll, valuing diversity of appearance over diversity of thought is definitely the best way to organize society. Yeah, man.
Hello.
Isn't that true?
It works every time.
They want people who look different, but they don't want anybody who thinks different.
Right.
And if you do, you need to be shut down. You need not to be heard by anyone else. Because it's amazing how frightened they are by the battle of, ideas. Just getting on that battlefield and let's just both share our weapons. What do we have? I'll hear what you say. You hear what I say. We'll let everybody decide. Nope.
No, because they know they will lose.
They know they'll lose. Tobin for Pope campaign. How many historic bridges has Jeffy needed to disassemble to accommodate his movement over the centuries?
Oh, see, that's funny.
It is.
Kind of is,
right?
I think. Yeah.
It is kind of funny.
Well, you don't think so?
No, it's funny. That's what I said.
So what's the answer? How many bridges have you had to disassemble?
I can't count.
Well, you know what? When you get stuck between the moon and New York City.
I've worked up to celestial beings now.
Okay. 888-900-3393. Yesterday, we ran out of time to play the people who are being forced to be vaccinated in India.
Horrific.
We've got some video of people actually being manhandled and held so they can be vaccinated. Look at this.
This old guy. He does not want it.
Wow, realize what it's for.
Really? Is that what it is?
For your own good.
That's right.
That's seriously what they're probably saying. This is horrific.
Well,
poor guy. Jeez.
He may be suffering from other issues.
Leave him alone.
Look at that. Yep. And they hold him and jab him.
What a...
Huh.
I feel like he's suffering from other issues.
You think so? Why?
Yeah.
Why? Because he doesn't want to be vaccinated? You think he's got mental illness?
Have we seen this happening to thousands of people?
No, we're watching it happen right now.
Okay.
In India.
All right. Yeah. No. All right.
I like how you're justifying.
I'm just saying. I just.
Okay. Help us understand the woman in the field here. She's trying to work out in the field. They track her down, and then watch this.
Another old person that's
minding her own business. What else you got?
Not minding her own business.
What are they doing out in the middle of nowhere, forcing vaccination on some poor old woman?
That's horrible. Oh, God.
Wow, that's really something. Is that far from happening here? I don't know. I don't know.
I think I'm telling you, this is the year. 2022 is the year we decide if we want freedom or tyranny.
5 years ago, I would have said, no, that's impossible. That's never going to happen here. But who knows?
This is the year, the watershed year.
And you've got this Canadian judge that just ruled that an unvaccinated father cannot see his 3 children because he refused to get vaccinated.
Ugh.
Seriously? You took his kids from him.
Yep.
Justice Natalie Godbout of the Court of Queen's Bench. Love the Court of Queen's Bench.
I need to. Same page.
Especially this time of year.
Oh, man.
So wait, if they had
Beautiful.
a king in Britain, would this be the King's Bench then? They'd change it. They'd change all of the...
Correct.
Think about it. For 70 years, she's been queen.
Yep.
And all the letterheads and all the plaques and stuff, you're going to have to change that when she dies if there's a king. Right?
Well, there will be. Okay, that's who's next in line.
Charles?
Anyway, Natalie ruled Monday that the father from New Brunswick would lose custody of his children. Father alleged to have done research on COVID-19. The dad had a hesitancy to the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine because of his questions about safety and efficacy. Yeah, you can't have any questions about safety and efficacy.
Yeah. No,
I'm
you
sorry.
cannot.
That's
for your own good.
That's verboten, if you will. The father's argument was dismissed by the judge. Of course it was. The judge allowed the father. This is so magnanimous of this judge. The judge allowed the father to have generous visiting rights via Zoom. But no in-person contact. Yeah, you might be able to, okay, I'm going to be magnanimous here. I shouldn't because you don't deserve it.
That's
but
right.
You can see him on Zoom from time to time.
Yeah,
All
not every day.
If the dad gets vaccinated, he can return to court to attempt to repeal the decision.
He can go and bow and bend the knee.
Parents separated in 2019 agreed to share custody. So they had shared custody. Now that's gone because he's not vaccinated. Unreal.
Yeah, and he protested having the kids get vaccinated, but after this ruling,
they were all vaccinated
the next day.
Boy.
What a world, man.
His dad just tearing the family apart.
Could that, I mean,
yes, that could absolutely happen.
Any question you have
that
right now?
absolutely.
The answer is yes.
I struggled to think that they're going to, be wrestling people down, although that's, I'm sure that they're doing that at nursing homes and
they might be
places of long-term care when people are struggling with other issues, not understanding what needs to be done. I get that. But out on the street, I find that hard to believe happening here. That from the courts, absolutely.
Yeah, I could see that.
Absolutely.
I can see that
100%.
right now.
Yes.
I think what might be standing in the way of forced vaccination, like we saw there, is like what's happening right now in Canada. I think there's being a line is getting drawn in the sand, and
that's a big line,
and an entire country is pushing back, and I love it.
Yeah, that police have been warning citizens not to help the truckers up there. They don't want them to give them food or supplies or fuel. But here is how Canadians are responding.
They're bringing cans of fuel to the truckers.
Thank you.
Look at that.
That's really something.
It is something. And now, and only one of every 3 cans has fuel in it because the police are stopping people, and it's like a shell game, and I love that. I'm sorry. This actually has the feel of like the Empire versus like the Rebel Alliance right now, what's happening in Canada.
It doesn't. Look at all those people with the cans of gas.
So committed in the cold.
They've had enough.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's incredible. That's why this has gotten to a point now. We talked a little bit about where they tried to get the tow truck drivers, right?
Yeah.
To come in and tow the truckers, and the tow truck companies were like, we've got COVID.
Yeah.
We're self-quarantining. So we can't make that happen for you
read
today,
somewhere that
which I love.
I
hope they're okay.
The Ottawa police, who are trying to break up, this blockade, effectively. I read that they're not required to be vaccinated.
Wow.
But yet you want the truckers. That makes a lot of sense. Sure.
Now Trudeau spoke a little bit going into some whatever little political meeting he has. Talking about he understands the frustrations.
Oh, yeah.
I think one of the things we all understand is just how frustrated everyone is. We're all frustrated. We're all sick and tired of restrictions, of mandates, of having to make sacrifices, of not being able to do the things we love. It's been 2 years, and it's really, really tiring for all of us. This government has been focused every step of the way on following the best science, following the best public health advice to keep as many people safe as possible. And quite frankly, it's worked. We've seen the curves lower in Canada than elsewhere. We've seen lower death rates. We've seen quicker economic recovery because Canadians stepped up, because Canadians got vaccinated. And I can understand frustrations with mandates, but mandates are the way to avoid further restrictions or having to be restricted. As people get vaccinated, as Canadians have gotten vaccinated,
abandon
we've been able to
free
get
market
through. So
principles
this
to
team
save
is going to stay focused
free market
on doing exactly that.
There you go.
All right.
The best way to get rid of restrictions is more restrictions.
Right.
Wait. All right, what?
Yeah, right. And by the way, Alberta and Saskatchewan, 2 provinces up there, just dropped their vaccine mandates yesterday. They're like, we're done. Goodbye.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
it's working.
It's very good.
It's working.
It's very
It
good.
is.
I mean, I don't know that truckers could. I mean, they're blocking. They're at the border of in Detroit, Toronto, and
I think we have a shot of that
road
too,
up there,
don't we?
Which is pretty incredible. But last week we had a trucker day, Trucker Tuesday, when you were down gallivanting with the Brood in Florida, and we talked a lot about could it happen here in the U.S. and really, I don't think it could, although there's some that are trying. You know what I mean? They have the convoy go to D.C. or try to block some roads and deliveries. I mean, they aren't blocking them at the Kroger warehouse that I go by every morning. I mean, they were rode up this morning getting ready for Super Bowl weekend.
Good.
They were rode up.
The shelves are empty at the grocery stores because of
the storm.
Because of the storm last
week. I mean, you got 3 days, right? I mean, that's what they're saying. You got 3 days of no deliveries and you're done.
We've talked about this before, though. I don't like the protest where you're inconveniencing and hassling other people to make your point.
That's right. If he brings,
it's not the way to go.
If he brings up that garbage dump,
it's like where SEIU protest in Houston.
Tell us what happened.
Let that go.
Wait, what happened?
Where SEIU protesters drive into intersections and major thoroughfares and dump garbage.
They dump garbage?
To
make their point?
Right. And I didn't appreciate that.
Wow.
Are you doing that to me? I didn't pay the janitors downtown. I have nothing to do with that. So
I'm so sick of hearing about the garbage.
I can't give them a 12-cent raise. I can't give them a 20% raise. I can't give them anything.
But they did say in our conversations last week was that what would happen is that the government would turn it around and blame it on the truckers.
Exactly.
Well, of course
with a very willing media. But may I ask on the SEIU thing, I don't think that really compares to this because this is a mandate that is forcing people to do something to their body. The SEIU thing, I agree completely with you. I've seen PETA dump chicken crap in the middle of a major intersection in downtown Atlanta. So I'm with you on that. But this is different in that you are having a government forcing Canadians to, if you want to keep doing this job that you love and that you've been trained for and committed your life to, well, you better roll up your sleeve. You're still messing up other people's lives to make your point. If you're going to rescue freedom. I don't like that. I've made that pretty clear, I think, over the... And
so we're with you.
What
you're trying to say is you're with them.
That. So it doesn't make sense to me.
You want convenient freedom.
With them, but don't do it this way.
I want my shelves full.
Yes.
Okay, so convenient freedom is what we're voting for instead of rescuing it from tyranny.
No, I'm just saying there's a better way. There's got to be some other way. You can't screw up everybody else's lives to make your point and to win friends and influence people. Okay. That's not the way to do it.
All right. So
I'm going to come up and hit you in the face because I want to stop violence. That doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't work.
What should they do then?
I don't know what they should do. Not this.
Not inconvenience me.
Right.
Is what they should do.
Yes.
Find some other way.
They've got a lot of support, though. They don't seem like those Canadians are complaining about that.
Surprising.
No, they are
Surprising.
Not. I think it's great.
Let me take a moment and thank Patriot Mobile for their support. Whether it's this show, other conservative shows, Turning Point, CPAC, the March for Life, these guys are there. And they support all of it because they're fully in the trenches with you. That's why I'm proud to partner with Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative cell phone provider, and I want you to as well. They offer broad nationwide coverage. In fact, they use the same towers, of course, so they got the coverage that everybody else does. It's going to be quality stuff. You don't have to sacrifice quality to make this change. Patriot Mobile has plans to fit any budget, and their 100% U.S.-based customer support team provides exceptional customer support. More importantly, Patriot Mobile shares your values and supports organizations fighting for religious freedom and constitutional rights and sanctity of life, veterans and first responders. Go to patriotmobile.com/Pat or call 972-PATRIOT. Get free activation right now when you use the offer code PAT. Veterans and first responders save even more. So make that switch now. What are you waiting for? Support a company that supports you. PatriotMobile.com/Pat. That's PatriotMobile.com/Pat. Or 972-PATRIOT.
Now back to Pat Gray on the Blaze Radio Network.
Going down to Louisiana. Playing my saxophone.
Oh, I thought you were sitting in a driving rain. In the cold, watching a
Got
football.
into the broken down football stadium. That is a broken down football stadium.
Really?
I don't know why you play a bowl game there.
What do they use that stadium for? Like, who? It's just
no
that one
idea.
game a year?
Seems.
Hold on.
I don't know. Is there a college in Shreveport that maybe uses it as their home field?
What's the name of the
Probably,
stadium?
but the stadium
Independence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like maybe a high school team. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I guess it seats 40,000. There certainly weren't 40,000 there.
No, there was not.
When BYU played.
No.
The Louisiana Tech Bulldogs
UAB.
play there.
Louisiana Tech.
Okay. LA Tech.
All right.
Big time.
No, not LA Tech. Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, right. LA Tech. All right. We know why police won't release any of those 14,000 hours of January 6th footage now. It's because Congress is blocking it.
Wow.
What we need to know is, why is Congress blocking it? U.S. public is purposely being kept in the dark about what actually happened on January 6th, but it's not Donald Trump, of course. It is the Democrats in Congress.
Yep.
Capitol Police are seeking to shut down a legal request for its communications and surveillance video on January 6th, as requested in connection with a Judicial Watch lawsuit. Why would you do that? You've got everything on your side. There was an insurrection.
Yeah.
It was the day democracy almost died. You had this going on.
Wow.
Look at the parading in the lobby.
We should stop showing that.
That shocks me every time. You're right, Jeffy. This is, Rob, why do we do this? I mean,
Look at that. The horror.
PTSD I get from this.
Oh, that's just.
Look at that flag.
I get nauseous every time I
Right.
watch it. I just threw up a little bit. In my
American
mouth.
flag. Just flaunting it.
So you've got everything on your side, right? How could it not prove your point further by saying, we haven't seen all of the brutal footage. Show it to us.
Yeah, let's see it.
Show me how bad that day was. Change my mind. I mean, I know it wasn't good to begin with. I know that. But if it's what you say it was, show it to us.
If it justifies the charges that you're bringing against these.
And they would.
Right.
Obviously, there's something completely different than their agenda.
Sure appears that way.
On these tapes. Well, they're not tapes. It's probably digitized footage. But
no.
But the Congress that oversees the Capitol Police blocked it from being released, claiming.
What? What's so funny?
Claiming it's not in the public interest to see it.
Wait,
I'm sorry, it's not in the public interest.
Wait, you've just spent the last talking about how this is the day democracy almost died. This is the darkest day in American history since the Civil War. And this video footage of your claims?
Not in public interest. I'm sorry. No.
Oh.
Also, if I might say, it's obviously. I mean, this is obvious. Probably went without saying, which is why I haven't said it until now. Sovereign immunity.
Oh, yeah. That's what they tried to claim that.
What?
Yeah, I don't know that they've even tried that before. Nobody knows what the heck it is.
Sovereign immunity?
Wait, Congress is using that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To not release the footage.
But when individuals use that, it's okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Pelosi has argued that the videos and email are not public records. There is no public interest in their release, and that sovereign immunity prevents citizens from suing for their release. Okay, Congress has that sovereign immunity.
Right.
So you can't be sued for not releasing it.
We need Pelosi to be investigated for allegedly sending in police into a Republican congressman's office to take pictures of documents. They were dressed as construction workers. Let's investigate that, shall we?
Mm-hmm. So on January 21st, Judicial Watch issued a request for these things. Email communications between U.S. Capitol Police Executive Team and the Capitol Police Board concerning the security of the Capitol on January 6th. Email communications of the Capitol Police Board with the FBI. the U.S. Department of Justice and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and they wanted all footage from within the Capitol between 12 p.m. and 9 p.m.
Why not? Let's
Let's
do
see
it.
it.
Yes, let's
And
see
they're
what you got.
continually told no.
When they've had to change their narrative, the vice president-elect wasn't there like they said. We're kind of doubting whether the vice president was actually there.
Right. There's a lot going on here.
I know.
I got some tweets here. Steam Queen Angel tweets, thought of the day. How long until learning a second language is considered racist and cultural appropriation? It's a seriously deep rabbit hole. Petty Officer America, it's just so tiring, violating human rights all day, every day. Justin Castro. Trudeau.
Oh.
Wait.
Kara 3022. Blue states lifting restrictions. Psaki saying Biden has not been pro-lockdown and most lockdowns happened under the previous president. Huh. Can you say midterm meltdowns?
It's going to be interesting this fall, huh?
Oh, yeah.
From Muffer Squish. Making people angry drives them to action. Either they blame the actors or the policy it forces people to choose at least. No neutral ground. That's true. But I think a lot of people are going to choose the people who are making it inconvenient at that moment. You know, and that's...
You think
that's
in
the
America?
Truckers. Yeah, I think so.
Because it doesn't
If
seem to be that
happens
way
here.
in Canada right now.
Also, when your store shelves are empty, you're not going to be pleased, right? If I can't feed my family, that's going to be... No, I'm not going to like that.
Yeah, I don't really care about my family so much, but me, I'm worried about.
Sons of Thunder 42, there wouldn't be an inconvenience in Canadian lives if the government didn't impose mandates. God bless the truckers. Yeah, I love the truckers.
It doesn't sound like it, though.
Love their method.
You know, it doesn't
I don't
sound
love the
like
method. I really, I don't know.
I swear if he brings up that garbage dump again.
It's like in Houston
Yeah.
with SEIU
One more freaking time.
back in the early 2000s.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, they drove into the middle of intersections and dumped garbage. all
What?
over. Yeah.
Who did that? SEIU?
SEIU. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not
Bunch
on
of
your
people
side.
came
What
down
I
from.
didn't do anything to you.
They weren't even from Houston. They had nothing to do with the downtown janitors that the protest was about.
Of course not.
They were from Chicago. Dump garbage in the middle of the intersections in Chicago.
You need to let that go.
That's how pissed I was. So when the truckers make sure there's no food on the shelves.
Right. And look, the ones that we talked to last Tuesday believe that as well. You know, it's
Yeah.
going to get turned around on them.
Yeah.
You know
So
how
that's what-
in the early days of the pandemic, we were given this little slip of paper, right? That said, we're essential. We're media. Remember that? We had to drive around with this thing because we got pulled over. Stupidest thing.
I do remember that.
Okay, so what if our government, our federal government, the president of the United States said, hey, all you essential folks, you're essential. We're going to need you to get the jab, right? If you want to keep your job and you want to remain employed, what should we as radio guys do? I mean, obviously we don't have a big pickup truck, or a big
I'm already vaccinated,
18-wheeler.
so you guys talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, that's true. And you regret your vaccination, don't you? Don't you?
I'm so mad at myself for getting vaccinated, I can't tell you.
I'm glad it didn't have any long-term effects other than that third tail.
And really, you had no
Third
side
tail.
effects, right?
Well, there were, you know.
Wait,
Well, no, I
there
don't
were
know.
a
What?
couple.
There were?
Yeah.
What?
I've talked about it before.
Like your arm hurt.
Yeah, there was some bloating issues.
That's what happened?
Oh, so wait, that's why you stopped going to the gym?
I know that you know it's
'Cause the
tough
vax
to notice,
wore
but
him
I
out.
did.
Okay.
I
yeah.
did.
Yeah. I mean, your body is so incredible that it's...
I understand. I know my body better
Sculpted.
than anybody.
Sculpted.
Well, I mean,
Well,
some-
was
a lot
until
of
the
people-
stupid shot.
A lot of people have used that term when talking about me.
Have they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they
A
have.
lot of people.
Sculpted. Oh man.
Yeah.
Or maybe-
Ripped, cut. Are those terms you also hear on a
No,
regular basis?
he's the clay before the sculpture. But honestly, like, how would you push back if your industry was
I
forced
don't
by the
know.
government
I don't know.
to do something you didn't want to
That's a good
do?
question, because I don't know the answer to that. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dump a garbage truck in the middle of an intersection in Houston over it. Though.
No, because that pisses people off.
Yeah.
So,
So I've heard.
The Biden administration is slated to set free one of the would-be 9/11 hijackers who's been imprisoned at Gitmo Bay for his role. Okay, so, yeah, let him go.
Let him go.
Yeah, whatever. Mohammed al-Qahtani, who planned to hijack planes for al-Qaeda but was denied entry into the U.S. Huh. Wouldn't that have been interesting? Oh, it's Jack from Twitter.
Oh, wow.
I didn't realize he was one of the would-be hijackers.
Okay.
Huh.
It all makes sense now, does it not?
I was showing a picture of Jack.
It does.
Rob got his pictures messed up, I
Yeah.
guess. Oh, but Jack
We're
over
talking
there.
about the hijacker.
So he's going to be transferred to Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
Now, is that one of those things
interesting.
where we transfer him to Saudi Arabia so they'll torture him because we're not going to?
Oh, no, I don't think
I think
so.
they just
I
wanna-
think they send him
What
to
do they
Saudi-
call that? Rendering?
Yeah, but I think they send him to Saudi Arabia, right? And then Saudi Arabia says, yeah, we'll make sure he's okay. And then he just goes about his
Correct.
way.
Yeah.
Correct. Exactly. Because they want to shut down Gitmo.
What did I do with that guy? I don't know.
They've been trying to shut down Gitmo. That was like a
Yes.
campaign promise of Obama.
Yeah.
But how much you want to bet dude at Gitmo has been treated better than the January 6 people that they want us to believe are
that's a
domestic
fact.
terrorists?
That's a fact.
No question.
Shameful.
Yeah. So they send him to Saudi Arabia. They're going to place him in a custodial rehabilitation and mental health care program for extremists.
Yeah.
Sure they are.
There's a lot of
Shut
those.
up.
There's a lot of those in Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
What is it? The full title of the place they're sending him to now?
Yeah, what is it? Club Med, what?
It's a
place where he's going to be custodially rehabilitated, and it's a mental health care program for extremists.
okay. All right. I love that. Those are only available in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
reintegration. Is that the word you're looking for or no?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Then I failed miserably.
Anyway, Mike Rogers from Alabama, Republican, of course, is calling the Biden administration's decision an appalling capitulation to the far left. Why would the far left want the guy? I mean, why would anybody want him released? Any American would.
No, it's the hate of Gitmo, though, right? It's the hate of Gitmo, and it's the way we treat prisoners, and it's from another country. So, that we've already moved on from the 9/11.
Yeah.
That's not the argument.
It's been 20 years.
Yeah.
Come on.
What difference does it make?
Get over it.
Thank you.
Get over it. It's about time to get over it, right?
Yes.
It's been 20 years. Almost 21 now.
Right.
Can you believe this is going to be the 21st anniversary on 9/11? Jeez, that's just incredible.
Sure is.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let me tell you, if you're looking for an interesting and different Valentine gift for that loved one in your life, somebody who's hard to buy for, show you that you care. Show her or him that you care by giving your Valentine the gift of better sleep and wellness from cbdistillery.com. Flowers are great, but she'd rather sleep at night. Show you care by giving your Valentine the gift of better sleep and, of course, wellness from CB Distillery. Seriously, with all that's gone wrong in the world last few years, a special Valentine's Day assortment of CBD products is an exceptionally thoughtful gift. And that's what they like. When you put some thought into it and it shows that you really care about it and you didn't just stop by a grocery store at the last minute and say, oh, I'm going to get these flowers. And then they're dead the next day. The potential health benefits of CBD are impressive, from better sleep to less worry and more calm. Just an awesome Valentine's Day gift. With over 2 million customers, CB Distillery is the source I trust for safe, effective, and natural CBD products. And again, these are the ones without THC. You don't have to worry about that. Right. You don't get high. These aren't illegal. All of that. You never need a prescription at cbdistillery.com. Show your Valentine how thoughtful you are and how much you care with a sweet assortment of gifts from CBD products from cbdistillery.com. And be sure to use the promo code LOVE to get 20% off.
Oh.
Promo code LOVE for 20% off at cbdistillery.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
This is a fun story. got viral video that shows a UFO might have landed in Antarctica.
Oh, you decide. Watch this guy.
Check this
Here's
out.
the location. Here we go. Looks like something may have slid into the snow. Definitely favors the shape of a triangle craft. And there's something up here, too, just north of what looks like a triangle sitting in the snow. And you can see a dent in the snow right there. We're going to take a closer look at that location here in just a moment. Look at this over here.
Look at
It's
that.
like a pyramid.
It does
we
look
can't
like a
measure
pyramid.
it because we don't know the angle of the sun at the time this image was taken, so it wouldn't be an accurate measurement.
This
But
thing
either
is
way,
a
there
UFO
is
guy.
a very tall point right there with a sharp peak that looks like the shadow of a pyramid comes up to a tall point right there. Again, if we measure it, it's not going to be accurate because I don't know the angle of the sun. But notice the angle of the shadows. They're going this way from right to left.
Okay.
So that tells us that more than likely this is a solid object of some sort. You know, it could be just a rogue rock sitting out here that's been unnoticed, but there's nothing else out in this area. Everything in the immediate area here is very smooth.
What do you think?
This is the only thing that
what do you
shows
think?
up out here in the middle of this snow. And again, it looks like a dent right there
Yeah, sure
in the
does.
snow.
Again, it does look like a dent.
It does.
So that could be a UFO
Yes.
that landed right there in Antarctica.
It absolutely could be.
Or it could be a rock.
A rogue rock.
A rogue rock. A rock that did not conform to the other rocks.
Do we not have previous video from like satellite footage from?
To see if it was there before.
Was the rogue rock there last week? I'd like to know.
That's a really good question.
How long ago does it? How long can they go back? I don't know. And is there a rock, a river,
Oh no,
a tree? I don't know.
No,
I don't
no.
know. I'm just
A rock.
A rock,
A river.
a tree.
River.
okay. You don't know.
You
I
don't.
know.
How do you spell
Depends
river?
on which way the sun is
RIVA.
pointing.
Riva.
You don't put an
River.
H at the end?
Well, you could, I guess, if you wanted to.
I'm from the south. I think
But
you put
the
an
A
H at the
could
end.
suffice, I would say.
Yes, you're fine.
A rock.
A rock,
Uh-huh.
a river,
A river.
a tree.
A tree. It's one of those
I
three
love
things.
that so much.
Or a UFO.
Yeah,
correct.
She didn't quite
Correct.
go that far.
No,
I don't
she
think
did
it was a
not.
river. It's a
She
little
went
short
to.
to
She
No,
went
I don't
to
think it was a river.
dinosaur crap. That was it.
Trees can't grow down there.
I don't think so,
So
no.
it's either, again, we go back to our point A. It's either a rock, or a UFO.
What about a tree? Could it be a
No,
tree?
it can't grow there.
Oh, that's right.
Could be a frozen river.
It could be a you know what? I stand correct. It could be a frozen river.
We'll continue to investigate.
I hope
Keep
we
you
do.
updated.
I hope we get to the bottom of this.
We will. We will. Mark my words, we will.
Okay.
Resurfaced video. I meant to talk about this the other day, but the new mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, has unfortunately had a resurfaced video show up, and this isn't going to hurt him because
No way.
he's on the left and he's a minority and nobody cares.
He's already in office. Just,
But it's interesting because he had this rant with, I don't know, some supporters that were gathered together where he called NYPD members crackers. Huh. I love that the article says, in quotes, cracker is a racial epithet for white people, especially poor white individuals from rural areas. It is? What? But here's what he said to the group.
But they printed it, huh?
Every day in
Yeah.
the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man. That was unbelievable.
He kicked those crackers' ass.
Well, that's fine, dude.
That's fine.
That's unbelievable.
Huh. Now, if this was a white person
Oh, man.
saying a racially charged word for black people, I wonder if the response to this would be a little bit different.
It does make one wonder, doesn't it?
If that was a white mayor saying that about blacks, he would already be dismissed from office.
they would.
He'd already be gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Already.
In the police department, when you keep 100 blacks in law enforcement. Came a sergeant, a lieutenant, and a captain. You know the story. Some people all of a sudden trying to reinvent me. But the reality is, what I was then is who I am now. I'm called again. So it's so interesting. I'm coming right after the sister talking about cannabis. I would rather wear white all day, grow a beard, smoke some weed, and leave this stuff alone. You hear me? Man, these Negroes, boy, for these Negroes that wake up every day and don't like themselves, they're going to beat me up. The people who say, where's our real black leaders? They're going to say, listen, who's Eric? You know, why does Eric think he should be mayor? Well, Negro, you run. You run. Go raise us $7 million. You know, go do this hits. Let me tell you something, man. They are lining up. Eric can't be mayor. In the corners of the city, they are lining up. They know me. They know what I'm about, and they know what I'm going to do as the mayor of the city of New York. Listen, we're not going to play this game.
It's incredible to me that the leftists get away with this, Democrats get away with this every time, every single time. Now, the founder of the Black Lives Matter Real Estate Forum, LLC, said his name is Thomas Lopez Pierre. He said of what Adams ranted, this is just how black people talk.
Yeah.
To us, it was family. We were having a family conversation. Oh, okay. That's just how black people talk. And again, that's a white person.
That's just how we talk. That's just how the family
N-word.
talk.
That's just how white people talk. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Move along. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see. I just, the double standard and the hypocrisy. It's
gross.
I mean, are we listening to anything that Black Lives Matter says at all anymore anyway?
Well, some are, yeah.
I mean, they're under fire.
Well,
right?
what do you want? You want Black Lives Matter? Or you want to see what Eric Adams? We can hold Eric Adams there. That's just, that's separate there.
I mean, Black Lives Matter is under fire, right? They haven't paid, they're
haven't
actually
paid taxes,
being looked at
right.
now, right? And states
and
are
all of
pulling
their,
the plug on all their
funding,
their
bank
money,
accounts.
the funding that they have. They can't
Rogue Rock?
they can't use the Rogue Rock. Yes, the Frozen River.
Yeah.
They're taking away from Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no one, according to the article in the Washington Examiner, no one appears to have been in charge at Black Lives Matter for months.
Yeah.
All the leaders left. The address it lists on tax forms is wrong, and the charity's 2 board members won't say who controls its $60 million bankroll.
Wow. How do you feel about your donation now?
Yeah.
Is that a problem? No. BLM's shocking lack of transparency surrounding its finances and operations raises major legal and ethical red flags. No.
Stop it.
Come on.
I mean, multiple states have taken away their tax-free status. That's what I was thinking of, whatever that's called, taking that away
Exemption?
from them. So, I mean, they're in trouble.
Like a giant ghost ship full of treasure drifting in the night with no captain, no discernible crew, and no clear direction,
I'll help
according to Charity Watch Executive Director Lori Styron. BLM co-founder, of course, Patriot Cullors, appointed 2 activists to serve as the group's senior directors when she resigned back in May because of the scrutiny over her personal finances. She bought, 4 homes?
Bunch of homes, yeah.
Worth millions.
She transferred money to another company that was run by her husband, which bought some homes.
I think that's how you're going to find that $60 million.
I think so, too.
My gosh.
And, of course, who was it that said that they continue to lie about Black Lives Matter? It was contained in a story recently before my vacation that people lie about Black Lives Matter, lie about them being Marxists. Really? When Patrice Cullors said we
are trained Marxists.
We are trained Marxists.
We are trained Marxists.
Like, you don't have her actually saying that, right? You just are reading something.
I have this.
We are trained Marxists.
Yeah, she's talking about her and her co-founder, and
we are trained Marxists.
Plus,
interesting.
Go to the stinking website.
Yeah.
There's Marxism all over it,
and
anti-family stuff.
Boy, have they made inroads into your children's schools over the last 18 months.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love this
Look
story.
At that story out of D.C. Look at this video. These kids in the hallway holding up BLM signs, chanting. Look at this. Black Lives Matter. Look at those little activists in training.
Without being told anything, any context, anything about the group, how it was formed, why it was formed. I'm sure there's no contrasting point of view. that's being taught to them.
Well,
No, they're
Did
just
little Billy in the
being
back just say
propagandized.
all lives matter?
Did he say that?
He better not have.
Through that mask, I couldn't tell. Thank
want-
goodness the kids
bring
are
him
wearing
down
masks.
to the
though.
office right now.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow. And then, of course, they're flying a Black Lives Matter flag at a school. This is, I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah, but at least they left the American flag is still on it.
For now.
Old Glory is right there.
That is
And then the
actually
Black Lives
surprising.
Matter. It is kind of. Yeah,
you can share the space for now.
Jeez.
I'm telling
At
you,
least
man.
3 schools in the school district are reportedly flying the BLM flag. Yeah, I'm sorry. What was it, Patrice?
Are trained Marxists.
Yeah, it's not a problem. Don't worry about it. We'll still teach the kids that you guys are fabulous, that you're heroes, that they need more money so that they can, that they can abscond with and go buy 4 homes all over the country.
Yes.
Take nice vacations, leave their position. And by the way, a lot of the money is missing. They don't know where it went. Couldn't have gone with the co-founders of BLM that left.
Yeah. That's called paying cash for that property. Is where that money went. I don't know if you want to do this here, if you have time. Just some random thing from Eric Adams talking about his diet. I don't know if you want to see this here. It's just see if we can figure out.
Does he eat a lot of crackers?
See if you can figure this out. What is he talking about?
Your eating habits. I just want to clarify something. How often do you eat fish, and do you eat any other animal proteins?
Eat animal proteins.
What?
I eat a plant-based centered life.
Okay.
Some people want to call them vegans eat Oreos
life.
and they drink Coca-Cola. I don't. I eat a plant-based centered life.
He eats that life.
And those who are the food police for me, they can food police all the time. I eat a plant-based centered life.
Just because you keep saying it.
I eat a plant-based centered life. And I'm not going down that. Hold on. Please don't do that yelling out stuff with me. I don't do it to you. Don't do it to me.
Yeah.
I eat a plant-based centered life. And I'm not going down this rabbit hole of what do you eat? If you eat cake and it has eggs in it, did you analyze it? I'm not doing that. Of course. The more plant-based you eat, the better and healthier you are. That is my question to those who are following me around in restaurants, wondering what I'm ordering. Listen, I'm not doing that. That's noise to me. I got to get New Yorkers to eat a plant-based centered life.
He's got to get New Yorkers to do it, too?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I don't know.
Is he on a crusade? Is that why he was asked about what he eats? I've never heard.
Centered life.
I thought it was a weird question, but apparently there's a deal about that in New York City right now.
Yeah,
right?
I guess I should have done research. I was just more entertained by the
centered life. How many times do I have to say it?
Because they were. I saw another headline that talked about him eating fish and some other stuff.
No.
It's gotta be.
No, he eats a plant-based centered life.
Does that work? And crackers are plant-based centered life. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
He doesn't want to call himself a vegan. That's what that is. He doesn't.
No, because here's the thing: he eats a plant-based centered life.
Have you got that through your head?
Well, I don't know. How do you eat a life? I don't understand.
Is he still?
What about this? Do you not understand, Keith?
Help me.
He eats a plant-based centered life.
But would he eat fish or anything like that, what?
All right.
I'm just asking a question, Mr. Mayor.
He eats a plant-based centered life.
It's not sticking. I'm sorry.
All right.
I just don't get it.
Oh man. Wow. I'll see you tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.